The world is not run by the smartest people in it. It isn't run by the kindest, the hardest working, or the most talented. Look closely at who actually holds the room, the resources, the final say, and you'll find a different operating system entirely. You were told intelligence means IQ. Problem solving, memory. That's the version they sell you to keep you productive and compliant. Real power runs on something else, a colder form of intelligence, one that reads what's happening underneath the words, detaches from the need to be liked, and quietly steers the room instead of reacting to it. Most people are sleepwalking, reacting to emotions they've never examined, moved by forces they can't see, convinced they're playing the game when they're actually a piece on someone else's board. Quick disclaimer before we start. This is an educational breakdown of historical philosophy and psychology, not professional advice. Machiavelli wasn't a villain, he was a realist surrounded by people who preferred comfortable delusions to the truth. He understood something most people never let themselves see: the gap between how you wish the world worked and how it actually works is exactly where you get destroyed. 9 laws. Once you see them, you won't be able to unsee them. Not in your job, not in your relationships, not in your own reflection. If you're not ready for that, this is the moment to leave. For everyone still here, let's begin. Law 1. Silence is not absence. It's leverage. Most people talk to escape discomfort. Silence forces you to sit with yourself, and most people can't tolerate that, so they fill it, oversharing, over-explaining, handing strangers a complete blueprint of their mind without ever being asked for one. And the moment you're fully readable, you're fully manageable. Machiavelli understood something simple and rarely applied. The person speaking least in the room usually holds the most. Information is currency, speaking is spending it, listening is collecting it. Think about the last time someone genuinely unsettled you. It probably wasn't the loudest person in the room. It was the one who said almost nothing, watching, giving you no signal to react to. That kind of silence creates a vacuum, and human beings are compulsively uncomfortable with vacuums. They rush to fill it. They start explaining themselves to you unprompted. They reveal exactly what they want, what they're afraid of, and often, without meaning to, exactly how to be handled. Stop volunteering your position before anyone's earned it. Stop defending choices nobody's actually challenged yet. Take in everything. Reflect back only what you choose to. A person whose real position can't be read becomes a person nobody can build a strategy against, and that uncertainty alone tends to make people more careful, more deferential, without a single word being spent. Law 2. Trade moral judgment for mechanical clarity. Here's where most people flinch, because it challenges something they've never questioned. You've been trained to sort everything into good or bad, fair or unfair, right or wrong. That framework feels like integrity. It's actually a weight around your own judgment. A sharper mind doesn't ask whether something is good or evil, it asks whether it's effective or not. A predator hunting isn't cruel, it's simply doing what a predator does. A storm that destroys a structure isn't malicious. It's weather behaving like weather. You suffer, specifically, in the moments you project a moral framework onto events that were never built to honor it. Anger, when someone acts in their own interest at your expense. Despair, when an opportunity slips away because the process wasn't fair. The universe was never running on fairness in the first place. Treat situations the way a mechanic treats an engine that won't start. Nobody calls the engine evil. They locate the failed part and address it. When you're attacked, spending energy on being offended is optional and expensive. The sharper move is analysis. Why this? Why now? What do they actually want? What leverage does this move give them? And what does it cost you to neutralize it? This isn't an argument for abandoning ethics. It's recognition that ethics without clear-eyed strategy just produces a good person with no actual capacity to protect what they've built, which, functionally, is a victim waiting for the right moment to be taken advantage of. Stop asking why this happened to you. Start asking what this development actually opens up next. Law 3. Show them a small crack, not the foundation. There's a common misunderstanding about people who operate this way, that they're cold, distant, unreadable machines. That's the beginner's version, the person still performing toughness. Real command of this understands something subtler. Total invulnerability doesn't inspire respect. It breeds quiet resentment, even outright enemies who want to see the mask crack, purely to prove you're human like everyone else. So you offer one, deliberately, a minor, harmless flaw. An admitted weakness with technology, a slightly embarrassing story from years ago, a small favor requested that costs you nothing to ask for. This isn't accidental vulnerability, it's curated. Something specific happens psychologically when you do this. People who witness a small, manageable flaw relax around you. They feel a flicker of familiarity, even superiority. He's just like me. And that feeling lowers their guard completely. While they're busy bonding with the flaw you handed them, your actual strengths, your real plans, your genuine sensitivities stay locked somewhere they never think to look, because they believe they've already seen the whole picture. Never expose the real vulnerability. Occasionally offer a decoy. A person who feels they already understand you stops looking any closer, and that's exactly the room you want to be standing in. Law 4. Become the mirror, not the competition. Most people, meeting someone impressive, instinctively try to compete, showcasing their own intelligence, their own wit, trying to win the room's attention for themselves. This is almost always the wrong move. Nearly everyone is, on some level, the main character of their own story, and everyone else is a supporting role. Fighting that instinct head-on rarely works. Reflecting it does. Match their energy, validate what they're feeling in the moment, echo their language back to them, adjusted slightly, without effort. Something happens when you do this consistently. They stop seeing you clearly and start seeing a flattering reflection of themselves. And because people are generally fond of themselves, that fondness transfers onto you, often without them understanding why they suddenly find you so easy to talk to. This isn't dishonesty, it's structured observation, disguised as connection. While you're mirroring, you're not performing, you're collecting. You're learning exactly what moves them, what they value, where they're sensitive, all while they're preoccupied admiring their own reflection in your responses. A mirror has no ego of its own. It simply shows people themselves, clearly, and lets them fall for what they see, while you quietly map the terrain underneath. Law 5. Detach from the outcome completely. Nearly all anxiety traces back to one thing: attachment to a specific result. You want the offer, you want the relationship to work, you want the room's approval, and because you want it visibly, desperately, you broadcast exactly that. Desperation reads as scarcity, and scarcity, in any negotiation of power, repels rather than attracts. People instinctively move away from what needs them and toward what doesn't. The discipline worth building here is a genuine, not performed, independence from the outcome. I will prepare, I will act, and if it doesn't land, I remain fully intact. This isn't apathy dressed up as wisdom. It's the actual mechanism behind real leverage. The person genuinely willing to walk from the table holds the table. Anyone who senses your fear of a specific loss effectively owns a piece of you. A manager who knows you're terrified of losing the position controls more of your behavior than any formal authority grants him. Take the discipline seriously, picture the worst outcome directly, sit with it, and recognize you would in fact survive it. Once the fear of loss genuinely loses its grip, something shifts. You can say what's actually true without calculating the cost of the consequence. You can take real risks because the fall no longer defines you. Scarcity chases, abundance is chased. Law 6. A well-chosen rival sharpens you. Most people want a life with no friction at all, universally liked, conflict avoided at every turn. This instinct, taken too far, quietly makes you worse. Resistance is what keeps a mind sharp. Machiavelli's advice to rulers wasn't simply to prepare for conflict when it arrived. It was to study it deliberately, in advance, as a discipline. A rival, chosen or simply encountered, forces focus in a way comfort never does. It exposes exactly where you're weak, long before that weakness becomes something more costly. Remove every source of friction from your life, and complacency moves in quietly to fill the space. Real growth has almost always run alongside real rivalry throughout history. The presence of a worthy opponent has pushed people further than encouragement alone ever could. Don't waste energy resenting people actively working against you. Let their doubt become fuel for your discipline instead. There's a second, quieter use for this. Nothing unifies a group faster than a shared, credible threat. If you're trying to build real alliance, a team, a family, any collective effort, appeals to abstract values rarely move people the way a clearly identified common challenge does. You don't need to manufacture enemies out of nothing. You simply need to stop being afraid of the ones already circling and let the friction they create become part of what builds you. Law 7. You are not one person. Stop pretending to be. You've likely been taught that authenticity means being identical in every room you enter. That's a limitation dressed up as a virtue. You are already different with your family than you are in a negotiation. Different with someone you love than with someone you're competing against. The conscious version of this, deliberately choosing which version of yourself meets which situation, isn't dishonesty. The unconscious version, the person who can't help ruining a room with the same unfiltered temper regardless of context, isn't authenticity either. It's simply an absence of control, mislabeled as a personality trait. Treat your presentation as a tool calibrated to its situation, the way a craftsman selects the right instrument for the job in front of him, rather than using the same one for everything. A high-stakes negotiation may call for calm, unwavering authority. A family dinner may call for warmth and full presence. Machiavelli's ideal ruler needed to hold two natures simultaneously, the direct force of the lion and the careful cunning of the fox. Rely only on force, and you walk straight into traps built for someone predictable. Rely only on cunning, with nothing behind it, and you become easy prey for anyone willing to use force against you. Adaptability isn't a character flaw, it's closer to structural survival, the shape that bends around whatever contains it in the moment, rather than shattering trying to stay rigid inside a space that was never built for it. Law 8. Verify before you extend trust. The common wisdom says trust, but verify. That's too generous a starting point. The more accurate order is verify first, then extend trust provisionally, and only in proportion to what's actually been demonstrated. Most people project their own decency outward. I wouldn't deceive him, so surely he wouldn't deceive me, and that projection, more than almost anything else, is responsible for the worst betrayals people experience. The clearer-eyed view accepts something uncomfortable. Most behavior, including generosity, ultimately serves the self-interest of whoever's performing it, even when it's genuinely well-intentioned. This isn't a reason for bitterness, it's a reason for attentiveness. Build a quiet background awareness, not paranoia, which reacts to fear with no real evidence, but attentiveness, which simply notices what's actually in front of you. Watch behavior, not language, because language is cheap and frequently engineered to produce a specific reaction in you. When someone offers something that looks unusually generous, it's worth quietly asking what's in it for them. When praise arrives more heavily than the situation calls for, it's worth asking what that praise might be covering. Machiavelli's own writing on this was direct. People are simple enough and eager enough to meet their immediate needs that anyone willing to deceive them will always find someone willing to be deceived. Don't volunteer to be that person. Let trust be earned in small, observable increments before it's extended at scale, because it's far better to be pleasantly surprised by someone's integrity than blindsided by its absence. Law 9. Meet your own capacity for darkness. This is the deepest law, and the one two very different thinkers, a philosopher of power and a psychologist of the unconscious, would have quietly agreed on, from centuries apart. You have to actually meet the parts of yourself you'd rather not acknowledge. You've been taught to be harmless, to suppress ambition, anger, any appetite for real power, and call the suppression virtue. But a person incapable of doing harm isn't virtuous by default. They're simply incapable, and incapacity isn't the same thing as choice. Real virtue requires the capacity to cause damage and the deliberate decision not to. Dark intelligence includes an honest reckoning with your own capacity for manipulation, for coldness, for strategic cruelty when it's actually required. Denying that capacity doesn't make it disappear. It just makes you naive to its presence in everyone else, and, more corrosively, it doesn't vanish quietly inside you either. Suppressed, it tends to leak out sideways: passive aggression, unexplained resentment, self-sabotage that seems to come from nowhere. The healthier path is direct acknowledgement, recognizing exactly what you're capable of, and choosing restraint anyway. Not because you lack the option, but because you've deliberately selected peace over the alternative. Machiavelli's most effective rulers were rarely saints. They were people who understood how to use difficult methods in service of a worthwhile outcome, when the moment genuinely called for it. That's the edge worth carrying quietly, not cruelty performed for its own sake, but the calm certainty that your composure is a choice, not a limitation. These 9 laws were never meant to be a checklist you complete once and move past. They're a lens, and once it's in place, you don't take it off. You'll start noticing the silence that says more than the noise around it. You'll notice who's mirroring you, and who you might be mirroring without meaning to. You'll notice who's playing the lion, who's playing the fox, and who hasn't figured out they need to be both. There's a cost to this clarity worth naming honestly. Some distance tends to grow between you and people still comfortable inside the old framework, the one built on assuming the world runs on fairness and good intentions. They may read your calm as coldness. Let them. You're not obligated to perform the old, more exploitable version of yourself just to keep everyone comfortable. The real question was never whether these principles work. History has already answered that, repeatedly, across centuries. The real question is whether you're willing to actually use them, not just nod along and quietly go back to reacting, explaining, and hoping the world eventually decides to be fairer. If any of these 9 laws named something you've been living without a name for, tell me in the comments which one hit hardest. And if you're ready to go further, subscribe, because what we're covering next goes deeper than any of this. I'll see you in the next one.